we are standing, like what we have done in our last class.
First was you can assignment. We can give a assignment.
Rakesh, you are not audible. Can you just come little louder?
Hello.
Yeah,
Sir, now
it is better.
yeah. So last class we are done like you can give a assignment for all of us and test unit test class. You can give a unit test class, unit test trailhead. So and last class you can the
You completed
database.
the unit test one
Yes,
for that
yes,
test class.
yes, sir.
Okay.
And also assignment also.
Okay.
But I
So
am not covering the test coverage in the assignment. So that is I don't
for the assignment,
understand.
we have to write the test class. So, do you have any question with that assignment till now, or should we go back to check the test class only?
Sir, I have wrote the test class successfully and the class also.
Okay, let's look into that then.
Yes, sir. I have also done that.
Let's look into that, Indranil.
Okay, okay, sir.
Yeah.
Like my screen is visible, right?
Yeah, it is coming. Yeah.
Sir, this is the class. You told us to like pick either contact or account object and make a custom field over there with having two values with a default value of silver, and we have to write the class so that whenever we like save a new account, the default value changes to gold. So this is the class, sir. And should I switch to the test class?
Yeah.
So this is the test class.
So only one point.
Okay, sir.
What you have done, that is fine. Contact check you have inserted, and from there you have picked up. All these things are fine.
Yes.
Only thing is that when it should not change, like in there should be any scenario, just go back to the class. So if somebody has made that gold by default and your system that uh, update date time is blank, in that situation your query should not fetch that record and should not update that, right?
Yes.
So that part also you should be covering in your test class.
Okay. Okay.
That is the logical business what I would say, like business conditions or business logic when we are writing the test class. Here it will not increase your coverage for sure, but
Okay.
your business logic will get covered from that
Okay.
class. So this is one of the thing I just wanted to highlight to everybody, that whenever you are writing any test class, the only part like having the coverage, that is one part, and covering the business logic is the other part, and that is one of the most important thing you should be doing. Your business logic coverage, when you are writing any class, the business scenarios, whether those are properly covered or not, whether those in those business scenarios your class is working properly or not, that you have to check from your test class. And this is one of the good example that
Okay, sir.
how you can cover all the business scenarios even if it is not required for the test coverage.
Okay. Okay.
Is this clear to everybody what we have discussed?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, Rakesh, let's go to look into your test class, what you have written till now.
Sir, I am
Yes.
stopping my sharing.
Yeah, sure.
Sir, is this like you are talking about negative testing?
Negative scenarios also you have to test. Like here you have given something within your if, right? Now,
Yes.
if there is something you have written for your else part, in that
Okay.
scenario, uh, that part would not be covered with the test class code you have written,
Okay. Okay.
right? So the
Yes.
negative part, that should also be covered, that you at least you need to you just need to try to do that.
Okay, sir. Got your point.
Yeah, just give me one sec. Yeah, Rakesh, let's go back to your test class.
This is my code class. Okay. So I have
Wait, wait,
written.
wait, wait, wait. Let me look into this. Query is fine if okay. Now scroll down, save result, and you have explored save result as
Yes.
that is fine. Just scroll down. Okay, that is also fine, but probably you don't need to do that overall.
Yeah,
Here,
I just practicing that database that you can assign that data
that's
how to
fine.
database.
That's good.
And this is my test class. I'm just here like I can insert a contact. Okay, and then I have just stuck here. Like, what will? How can I do that? It is
Your method calling is fine, but your system assert is only the probable wrong thing what you have done. That is the system assert. Here, you have inserted this contact. So when you are inserting this contact, you can get the ID of that contact as well, or you can just use that acct dot set level, and your value should be gold there. So that thing you should be checking. Did you get my point?
yeah,
So obviously gold and silver will never be equal, right? What you are trying to do, like you have inserted one account or contact, whatever it is, you have inserted one contact. In that contact, the level, after execution of your method, the level should uh, get updated to gold.
yes.
So just check that set level and then check whether now that is gold or not. Then only you can understand whether your method is properly executed or not.
Okay. So that system dot assert equal to that it. This is my contact. Okay. So this contact I will check, right.
This contact dot that set level, the field.
Set level here. Set level. Is it?
Not equal to. Go to system assert equals syntax. So how that should work? Expected and actual, right?
Yes.
Third one is not required for you. So how you can put the arguments there? You can just put the first argument, comma, second argument. So you have to put comma in between this set level C and gold, because that is the value you should be checking. Account dot set level C. So put comma there, and now you have the value gold that you are just checking. So the remaining part after gold, there is comma and silver, that you need to remove, right? That comma also. Now try to check. What is the message?
Mm, Extension center. Fail. DML operation is failed.
Test class of set level change C test delete account with one opportunity.
This
What
is
is
my
that?
test class name. Name of the method. Test.
Your insert is getting failed, boss.
Yes.
Check that how you can insert, like not only the last name, probably there is some other field values you have to provide because of your uh, any validation rule or anything.
Oh, okay. Okay. I think one flow is including here. This triggered also. Then this is this not trigger also.
Yes, this might be the reason, there might be other reasons. So you just try to insert one contact from your UI and check what values you have to provide. Once you do that successfully, then just go back and accordingly create your, here you are putting all these things, right? The first name, last name, salutation, you are putting everything
Okay.
anyway.
Okay, sir. I will check.
So
Okay, sir. I will check and I'll let you
check
know.
that part, and then if that is not working, then also we can just look into that later.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So Shubhadeep, Sujoy, Pallab, you also have completed this, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, I've completed.
No issue, no
No,
question.
no issue.
No, sir.
Okay. Then we will move to our next part. That is today we will go for the new thing that is called inheritance. Inheritance in Salesforce, practically in Apex. Because now, what does it mean by inheritance? That is the first thing. What do you think about that?
Like most of the cases when a child will going to have the abilities that the parent have, so it will be like inherited to the child object, or like we can say the permission sets and the permission that is associated with the parent object will be automatically come to the child object. That is like inheritance.
Not the permission or permission set. It is uh, practically this is the properties of parent. Just give me one sec. I'm just getting one call.
The test class is done. It's now
Good. So, uh,
Sir, inheritance, you are talking about the OOPS concept that by which we can invite the parent class functionality in the child class, right?
right.
Okay.
Class A, and let's look into this as class B. If we say, if there is any way to define that this class B is inherited from class A, I believe you can see my screen, right?
yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So, this class A, if we can say that this class B is getting or a child class of class A, that means whatever we have here in class A, all variables and all methods, okay, whatever is present in class A, whatever is present in class A, all the variables and all the methods will come to class B, provided they are not private. Here the concept of access specifier comes into picture. So access specifier and the details, I will cover that separately. But for now, just try to understand this part. If it is not private, if something is defined in class A, all the variables and all the methods, those properties of class A will be properties of class B as well if B is inherited from A. That is, if Class A is the parent class and class B is the child class. Right? So it is something like I am staying at my home with my parents and say that home is of my parent. Whatever objects, whatever things are there, I can also access whatever my parents has already created there. Okay. So until and unless that specific element, specific thing is private to someone and they are not sharing it specifically, except that everything you can access just like that. So class B will have all the properties of class A if those properties are not private. What does that mean? Now, in our programming, what we have seen, like A obj1 equals to new A. If I write this, what does that mean?
It is creating an instance of the current class.
Right. New B. And what about this object 2, obj2? Obj2 is nothing but object of class B.
Yes, like another instance.
It is another instance of another class, practically.
Yes, yes.
So ideally, what happens when we are doing this, uh, we can access the properties of class A with obj1 and we can access the properties of class B using obj2, right?
Yes,
Is that clear to everybody?
yes, yes.
Yes.
But with this obj2, we can access the properties of class A as well if this B is a child class of A.
Okay.
And if that property, that bad property means variable or method. It might be variable, it might be method. So that variable or method, if that is not private, we can access that property of class A using the object of class B. Simple. Is this concept clear to everybody till now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then we will go for the specifications. Then let me open few of
Sir,
the
is that about the virtual and extend keywords?
right.
The display and show, like those kind of things.
Those things I am coming. The keywords and whatever the syntax is, that I am coming. uh, don't think about that right now. I will give you all the details.
Yes, sir.
It is fine, but first you need to understand the concept. The concept is more important than the syntax, I believe, because syntax you can get in 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, you can grab the syntax. But the important part is to understand the concept, that this is what I am doing, I am going to do.
Yes, as you said, like in the child object, we can call the properties of the parent. And sir, in the child object, there can be some different properties as well that will be unique for the
Exactly.
child.
There can be different properties with single object, with basic object of A, that with that we cannot access the properties of B.
Got it. Now clear.
But if in parent class, I can instantiate that class with child object, in that scenario I can access those.
So there might be some properties in the parent class that is not shared with the child class, and some of the properties will be shared that will be accessed from the child class, right?
Ideally, that is the scenario. Let
Okay.
me show you another thing. So in inheritance in Apex, just let me check which one. Yeah. So whenever we are doing this instantiation and extension, this thing is called extension. So there is a class called marker. Okay. Here is a class called marker, and there is another class saying yellow marker, and it extends. When I am saying extends, that becomes the child class, and from where I am extending it, that becomes the parent class. Okay, so
This yellow marker is child and
yellow marker
marker
is child of marker. Marker is the parent class.
parent.
That in our example, that was class A. Class A is marker, and class B is yellow marker. So this is the syntax.
And
Only this line, concentrate on this line only for now.
this virtual, what is a virtual? So
This you have to define as virtual when you are making some class as parent class. From where you want to extend, you have to make that class virtual.
so that virtual mean that is a parent.
That you can extend to your
Extend
next
means
class. Like you can have one extension of that class. Say for this one, test parent class, it is made virtual, also public. And here you can say, you can see that test child, that is test parent, is getting extended here. Okay, within your test child, void test child method, you can see it is calling test parent method. So that means it as if this test parent method is local to this class test child, right? Local means you have written one class within, you have written one method within one class. Within that class, if you have to call that method from another method, you can directly call it. You don't need to create the object. That's where it is called a local method, right? Local in terms of that class itself. Like if I just write here another method, that is public void uh, test method 1, and that test method 1 I just want to call from test child method, so it would be another test method 1 would be there, because it is within same class. When I have defined that method, that would be within same class, so that's why it is local to that class. As it is local to that class, you can call it without creating any method, without creating any object. Now the same thing happens when there is any public method you have defined in your parent class and your child class. You can call that as a native or local method. Just give me one sec for this. Okay, so as I was just telling you, like when you are extending any class, like in your child class, you can access the properties of your parent, as simple as that, directly. That is the important part. Okay, now the important thing is that
Sir, one question.
Yep.
Like, as we are inheriting the functionality of a parent inside a child, so is there like any specific other reason that we should do that, or like I am saying, like if there is a governance limit issues or something like that, that for that we need to do that, or is that
No,
only?
this is the thing, like where you have to provide the uh, guideline kind of thing. Say, you just want to create one generic scenario or generic thing, like to create shape. Okay, so you just want to draw a shape. So for shape, there must be some kind of object for which that shape you have to draw, and there would be some dimension of that shape, right? So this is the very common property for any shape. Now think about triangle, rectangle, and circle. So all these three objects, all these three things are different, right? It has specific properties. Triangle has some unique property which is different from rectangle. Rectangle, it also has some unique property which is uh, different from circle. But there are few common things as well, right? So your shape, you can define the common things once in one place, and all these rectangle, triangle, and circle can be the child classes where you will define the unique properties. In that way, you can be sure that if there is a shape for which I am just trying to draw, or I am trying to do anything, in that scenario, there are the base or the root, and the basic things, basic properties would be always be the same. Like if you have defined a variable called pane, okay, that pane, the thickness of the pane and all these things, you can define the properties. But say that pane that is required to draw all these shapes, so that can be in your parent class. And whenever you are trying to draw any object, any specific shape, you don't need to bother about whether that name is pane or pane 1 or pane 2 or pane 3, because if you allow people to write their own attributes everywhere, they obviously they will give some different name, and it would be unnecessary to define that everywhere. Rather than, it is better to do that in a constructive way, that it should be defined in one place and it would be used everywhere. So
Yes,
are
sir.
you getting the
Yeah, yeah,
law
yeah.
why it is done?
Yes.
When you have your common properties which you can define, don't think from programming perspective. Right now whatever I am giving you, that is almost real life perspective. In programming perspective also that can be used, but don't go to that right now. So
Like I have a
Hmm.
sir, like I have a declare any variable. So that variable I can use multiple way. So the, that time I can use this method, right? So
Actually, yeah, not about only variable, also methods. The only thing is that whatever is common, say you are trying to define some structure, whatever is common there, in that place you should be using this. Like you are trying to build something where you have your parent. Say you just want to build some building. Now, building can be of different types, but the basic ingredients like uh, the bricks, the cement, and all these things, whatever is required to build that, and also say the blueprint, all these things are common. Like those are not unique things. But if you are trying to build a church or you are trying to build a school, then obviously there would be some unique properties that you have to consider. So the unique things you can define in your child, but the uh, standard basic properties you can just define within your parent class, so that that can be reutilized. First of all, second is that that can be standardized, right?
Yeah.
So
So
standardized thing
understood.
is very much required, standardization.
Yeah. So I have like I have declare in parent like one variable, so that this variable I can use in child, uh, and that
That can be used from child, yes, that can be
yes,
used from child.
child. So it is yeah.
So this is the basic of inheritance. So now there are other things as well, like I'll go to that later gradually, like override. There is another concept which is called override. What is override? Like, we have learned about overloading of method, right? So what was overloading? Can anyone define? Method overloading.
So
Yeah.
two or more methods with same name but different parameters.
Right. Now, if that is happening within one class, that is overloading. If the same thing is happening in two different classes where one is parent and one is child, then it is called overriding. But in addition, in overriding, methods can have same arguments as well. At least there can be one method. Like, in my parent, I have defined method 1 without any argument. In my child class also, I can define one method, that is method 1, without any argument. That is also allowed. So not only the argument change, if only the class is changed, then also we can define methods with same name, with same arguments. One, not multiple. So that part is also called method overriding. So for overriding, we have to use this keyword override. Now, how that works, or what is the utility? So whenever we are creating any method, which is like in parent and child, if we are creating methods with same um, name, that means you need to do something in addition with the parent one. Like whatever you have done in your parent, in your child, you want to do something else, you want to do something more. That's where you should be doing this method overriding. Okay.
So
And
here in this example also, that's why like they have defined another integer and now they are doing the
right,
sum of three integers. Yes.
right. So you are doing something different than your parent class. In that scenario, you can do that. Like say if your parent class is shape and your child classes are, say, from one parent, you can do multiple child, but from multiple parent you cannot derive one child. In Apex, that is one of the important thing. I will cover that later separately. For now, just think about a parent class shape and your child class, that is child classes, say one is triangle, one is rectangle, one is circle. Now, for triangle and rectangle, and even there is a square, for all of them the lines are straight lines. Okay. But for circle, the line is not a straight line. So in that scenario, you probably need to define one additional feature, that is the say anything like angle or arc or something like that. That is one additional feature you need to define, so that it can draw that shape, and it can understand like how it is going to work in a different way rather than the others. So say your parent class's shape, your child classes are rectangle, triangle, and circle. For circle, say you are just writing the same method. Like in your shape class, there is a uh, method called draw, and that takes probably the length and the direction. Okay, length and direction. With this length and direction, it would create a straight line. So your length and direction, if you can just provide that properly, it will only draw that straight line or something like that, and accordingly you can define the properties in your child, like from where it will start, how it will move on, and where it will end. By that you can draw the shape, that specific shape. But for circle, probably you need to define the angle as well, and rather than direction, it would be angle. Okay, because direction, with that direction you could draw that straight line. With this angle, it will actually move roundwise. So in that scenario, what you can do, like your uh, sh- uh, parent class has one draw method. That same draw method can be utilized for other two child classes, but for circle you might need to override that method. So with basic concept, can you understand where it is utilized or how it is utilized?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So I think the approach is like it makes our code more customizable according to our needs.
According to our needs. Exactly. Wherever you need to define something more, something extra, something different, there we can utilize these things.
And with the same method name, we can only have one method, right, sir?
With same method name, we can
And the
have
parameters as well.
with same parameters,
Hmm.
we can have one method in parent, one method in child. That is possible
Okay.
for overriding. Okay, but other things we can do, like other methods we can define with different arguments, but with same argument we can define in parent. Same argument we can define that in parent and child. Only one. So let me give you people this links, so that this is simple, that is extending a class, and this is one of the important thing you need to understand, uh, and come to that later. So these are the basics which you can go through. And let me check if there is any trailhead. Uh, so the Apex unit, Was that provided to you previously?
Yes, sir.
So are you going through that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Then now I believe most of the things you can complete there. Just let me check the lessons there. I believe I have already provided all the trailheads to you, whatever I have checked. So anyway, so did you get the understanding? Like, what does it mean by inheritance, and how we can do this?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So just do one thing, that is create one parent class called shape. Create three child classes, or create just only one child class, that is rectangle. Take the variables, like take the length and breadth in your parent, and in child just create one method to find the area of that rectangle. So your parent class would be shape, your child class would be rectangle, and the variables, the length and breadth, would be defined in your parent class, and your child class will utilize those to create the area, to calculate the area. Okay, so let's write this one. You complete this thing, and then we will discuss more about it.
Uh, um, Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, you only said the parent class name or also the parent class method name?
In parent class, there is no method. The method is in child class.
Okay, so what will be the name of that? You said that, or we can do anything?
You can provide anything.
Okay.
Sir, hello. Hello, sir. Am I audible? Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, I think Amrita is somewhere not
Okay.
looking at the screen right now.
Okay, sir.
Sorry, guys, I was not in front. Was anyone saying anything?
Yes, sir. Actually, sir, I'm stuck in some. Actually, the class is almost done. Can you look into that once?
Yeah, I will. Just give me some time. Just
Okay.
uh, I just want everybody to complete first, and then I will check.
Okay, sure, sir.
So in the parent class, as you said, like there will be no methods, right?
Right.
Okay. In child class, in my case, like it is saying like variable is not visible. I don't know why.
There's something.
Everybody done?
In the child class, the variable are not coming like
That is
it's
fine.
showing.
Same thing for
Same thing. Okay. Shuja,
Yeah, I'm facing an issue. I mean, my issue is here it is showing missing at public. I don't know why. Other than that, the class is, I mean, working fine, I guess.
okay. So hopefully Indranil and Pallav, you have also written the class. So Shuja, do you want to share your screen?
Sure, sir. Give me a second. Is it visible, sir?
No, till now, no. It is appearing now. Yeah.
Yeah, here is it is showing line number 9 missing at public. I don't know why it is showing.
What is your you don't need to write, you don't need to create method in your parent class. In parent class, only the
Okay,
variables would be defined.
okay.
Okay.
Then
So first change it.
okay,
It is the child class you are changing.
okay. Sorry.
Good. So now that in your child method the override will not work.
Yeah, static, I guess.
Static is also not required. If you want, you can put. That is not a very big deal. So now, if you try to do this, try to save it.
Yeah, I'm trying to say this. And now it's still, I mean,
Right.
showing this issue.
Define your integers b and h as public.
Okay, yes.
So by default, the variable should be like private, right?
That is default. That is not public,
By
private, but that behaves to some extent uh, as private. First of all, very bad indentation. So please change your indentation and yeah. Now try to save it.
Yeah, still facing the same issue.
Just give me one moment.
Sujoida, what is that 12 in your area?
This is the formula, actual formula to calculate
Don't
the
make
area.
it static,
Okay,
the method. Save it. Still, it should be complaining.
yeah.
Let's, yeah.
Sir, shouldn't we define that area as integer as well?
Yes.
Area needs to be defined as integer.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Obvious.
Yeah. I don't know why.
First, whatever you have written, just the second class you have to create as a separate class. Copy that part and put that in another class. Create new
Okay.
class, put it there.
Okay.
Sir, I have done like that, like a separate class, but it is showing that the variable are not present.
That I can understand. Let me check that. There is something.
And the
Should I remove this
variable,
part?
I have put the variable as public as well.
You have put the variable as public as well, right? Okay.
Yes.
Just give me one sec. Let me log in.
Uh,
No, no, create a new class and paste the second part in that specific different class. There will be two classes, one will be parent and one will be child.
Child.
no, I'm talking to you. Actually, this is the parent class, na? This is the parent class and this is the child class.
Right. The
Yeah.
child class, copy the child class and create a new class and paste the entire thing on that class.
Okay, okay, okay. The test class is already open. I will build the vehicle.
What will happen if we make the parent class global? Is that okay?
Ideally, that should not create much difference. Just let me do one thing.
Mm.
Just writing that down. Just give me one minute.
Here the it is saying variable doesn't exist B and
Mm.
H. Same for me.
Right. So where is your parent class?
This is the parent class.
Public virtual class. Why it is saying like that?
In the child class, you haven't initiate the extend keyword, I guess.
Yeah, here is working
No,
here.
no, not in this one. The other one. Yeah, here. Put
Okay.
extend and the parent class
No,
name after that.
yeah,
Same error will come
So
again.
I'm not sure
As tested.
why it is not working for you, but for me it is working properly. Just give me one more second. Uh,
I have used the extends keywords. Udita, still I am getting the same error.
Me, same for me.
Uh,
And
yeah. Now, sir, it is working again. Yeah, now it's working.
But I have done the same. Why is it not working for me?
maybe this can be a case. Maybe the child class is not getting if there is already an existing parent class. Maybe it's take some time.
Ideally, it should not be. Let me share my screen quickly.
Yeah, sir. My this class is working fine now.
That is working. That means that is working.
Yeah.
Now you have to execute this method from your developer console. I can also show like
Yes, yes, yes.
stop, and I'm just sharing. So this is my parent class. Sorry, this is my child class. This is my parent class, right?
Okay, sir.
Public virtual class A. A must not be given as name. Very bad name of this class, but I was in hurry. Now the second part is that public class B extends A. Okay. Public void show. That's what I have created. Integer area. Area equals to something, something multiplied by something. I'm not interested about the equation and all these things. And then I have created this one. Now it is already saved. Obviously, this one is previously saved. That's why it can also save, right?
So mine got saved also, all of a sudden.
So it should not be all of a sudden. That means there is something which was missing previously. Now that is right.
Okay,
Now that
okay.
is correct. That's why it is. Uh,
Sir, like I have tried also 3 or 4 times to save it. Past 3 times it got failed and now it is saved.
now it's working.
so for everybody now it is working. I'm not
Yes,
sure how
yes.
that worked now.
I don't know.
So I was just writing down this class, and till like once it is completed, it seems like it started working for everybody. Okay, so here you can understand the basic things. Like I just wanted to uh, create this small class so that you can at least go through the syntax, basic syntax, whatever is required. Okay, so when you are public virtual class is something that is which can be extended. To extend any class, that must be virtual or abstract. Now what is abstract class? I'm not going to that right now, but a virtual class, that means something, or or I am defining one class which can be inherited. Okay, which can be inherited. And the public class B extends A means B is the child class of it. So only to give you these two things, one is the keyword virtual, another keyword is extends. These two things I just wanted to give you. Okay. And this needs to be public, or specifically it needs to be protected. What is protected? I'm coming to that later. First thing is that when is this syntax clear to everybody now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It is executing perfectly. Like I got the result as well.
Right, it should be. Like I was not sure why it was giving that error at that time to you. Anyway, anyway, so the important part what we have learned today from conceptual perspective, what is where we have started, like one class can be inherited by another class, and the child class will contain the properties of parent class. Why and when we do that, we have already discussed. Second thing is that we can override methods. That is, we can have methods with same name and even with same argument in parent and child class, but that is only one. We cannot have multiple. Now, that one is actually giving you the flexibility that whatever the standard or standardized or the basic functionalities of any structure you are trying to build, that you can construct in this way. In your base class or parent class, you can have the most generic and the most of the items which would be reutilized in your child things, in your child classes, those things should be defined in your parent class. And in your child class you can just reutilize whatever is already defined in your parent, and whatever is unique, whatever is new, whatever is specific for your functionalities, those you should be using or creating within your child class. Okay.
Sir, in your example, you are doing the main operation in the child class itself. Like we are calculating the area in the child class, right? So if you
Right.
want to write the test class, we will have to do that for the child class only, or the test class will also have, like, if we write the test class for the child class, I think it will by default cover the parent class, right?
Ideally it should not be. Ideally, at least you have to define one method, like you have to just I cannot remember this right now, the syntactical part. You can just create one object of child B, like class B, and just try to check whether that is covering class A or not. uh, it seems like I cannot tell you 100% confirm that that can confirm that can cover the class A. Ideally,
Okay, so
you
okay,
should be creating one object of class A and instantiate that. Then only it should cover class A.
okay. So we will try to explore that.
Exactly. Explore that part. Explore
Mhm.
that part, and then we can think like ideally it should not be like it is something like it is not about calling the class A. Like when you are writing your class B and you are using the properties of class A, it is not like you are calling it. Like if you create one object of class B, it will use the properties of class B. And as this S1 and S2, by the virtue of inheritance, is property of class B, it should not be covered with that test class ideally, I'm
Okay,
saying. But
okay,
I'm not sure right now. I have to check that as well. So you can
okay,
just check it of your own. Just create one test method, uh, test class and test method to call this show of using class B's object, and just check whether class A is also covered or not.
Okay, sir.
That might be, as it is saying extends A, so that might cover that class A as well, but I am not sure right now,
Okay, sir.
because there might be some properties which I might not be using in class B of class A, right? Say there
Yes.
is a method and I haven't used it at all in class B, then how that will work?
Yes, yes, then that will not be covered. And it can be also a scenario that we don't need to use that method in the child class. So no need to even like referring that in the child class also. So the test class will not cover.
Ideally, that's what the logical thing I'm telling you. But this there might be other definition as well of this that we need to check. So just try it out. No harm in trying it out. So this is the thing I just want to cover today. Next day we will cover interface and abstract class. First, go through this concept properly. Go through the links I have given to you. If you want to write anything like this, I'm not giving any specific assignment this week, but I would suggest go through and just write few of the classes of your own. And next day we will cover the abstract class and interface, and we will do another thing, that is we will try to cover the access specifiers like public, protected, uh, private, and default, how that works in Apex.
Okay.
So that part we will try to cover. Next to next day, we will go to batch class then.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So if you do not have any concern or a question, we can close the call for today and close the class.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
So no question. That means that is good. So go through this, and we will come back to this later. Okay,
Okay, sir.
in next
Yeah.
class.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you,
Thanks,
sir.
sir. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Have a nice weekend.
Yep. Same to you.